Hello, my name is Pranav and today I'll be teaching you all what CSV files are and how to set your working directory in RStudio. I will also highlight our general goals of building the aquaponics system. In general, this video will be a great introduction to R programming. Let's begin with understanding what is a working directory. A working directory is a directory on your computer that may be utilized to read files from or write the files to. In our case, since we are working with RStudio, we will set up the working directory for RStudio. A working directory, so why is a working directory important? RStudio needs to know where to find our files and where to save newly created files. Thus, we must tell RStudio where our working directory is going to be. This will enable RStudio to have the knowledge of where to go for locating files. There are multiple ways that we can define our working directory. The easiest way is to go to the tab that says Session at the top of your RStudio. After clicking on that, scroll down to Set Working Directory. Follow the drop-down that originates from the initial tab, and there you can see that it says Choose Directory. You can also see that there's a shortcut listed. This shortcut, Ctrl Shift H, will also take you to the same window. Either way you do it, the next step is to select the folder that you want RStudio to go search into when you tell it to find files. So I will go to my desktop and I will choose an example folder. Then I will click Open. If some of you already have CSV files, the folder you select here should be the same location that your CSV files are located in. If you don't have CSV files yet, that is okay. Just select a new folder that you would like to save your files to in the future. Then press Open. Then you should see a message similar to Set Working Directory, brackets, and then quotation marks, and then C semicolon slash, and then a bunch of slashes and words in between. Those slashes and words are your working directory and the path that the RStudio will follow when it's necessary to go save any files or receive any files. Moving forward, we will now talk about what CSV files are and how we can utilize them. I'm going to open an example CSV file through Notepad so you guys can view it easily. So here's color data, temperature data, and thermometer data from the Aquaponics project. All of these contain data separated by commas, which will give us values that we can use in RStudio. So if I open thermometer data, we can see that there's the date, then the comma, and then a time, then a comma, then a value, and another value. So this will be the Celsius value and the Fahrenheit value here, along with the date and time that the data was captured at. So CSV stands for comma separated values. Let's assume that we have a file that contains several values which are maintained in the form of rows and columns. For example, when we store data in an Excel worksheet. Generally, an Excel worksheet is meant to be read by humans. Suppose we needed a file that can be easily read by a computer program. How could we do that? This is where a CSV file could come into play. If we stored the rows and columns in a plain file where the numbers in a row are separated by a comma, representing multiple columns, while each new line represented a new row, this will comprise a CSV file. Although a program like Excel can easily import data from a CSV file and display it to a human, it is sometimes informative to open a CSV file with a program such as Notepad here, since it reveals how a CSV file actually looks like. So in this series of videos, we have the following goals. As we know, the aquaponic systems that we have developed logs data on the air temperature, light spectrum, air humidity, and water temperature. This data is captured on regular intervals, for example, every 10 minutes. Each time the sensor is activated, it takes 10 readings before it is deactivated. We will do the following using R. So here are our goals. First, we want to read the file where the sensors wrote the data. Next, we want to take the last 3 readings out of the 10 that are captured at every time lapse and calculate the mean of those readings. We would like to then move on to plot the readings on a timeline using the appropriate graph. And the last step is to convert the information into a presentation program using RStudio.